Hello.
Good morning all. Yes, sir. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Happy Monday to everyone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Today is UK bank holiday, not US bank holiday. US bank holidays are normally much worse. I don't know how much of an impact the UK market is having on price these days. But there's a few things I want to cover as well as analyze today. US session is going to be as normal. We don't necessarily have to be low volume in London, but on bank holidays, I'm going to show you guys how to trade a bank holiday. US bank holidays, I just skip as a whole. When it's GBP and US bank holiday together, I just skip the whole trading day as a whole. GBP bank holiday, it's hit or miss. And it's easy to kind of identify what it's going to be like. So let's have a look here at the calendar today. As I said, bank holiday. We have a bit of Japanese bank holiday as well. And then nothing really for the whole day. Nothing we need to worry about. Going into this week, we have PMI. This is the first week of the month. So we're going to have NFP as well at the end of the week. First Friday of every single month. And then all of that good stuff. So yeah, new month here. May did open on Friday. So technically it's not the first trading day of the month, but it's the first trading week of the month. And yeah, let's see what's going to happen overall. Leading into this week and overall. So daily time frame, we can start off on weekly here. Weekly closing bearish on gold, daily closing bearish on gold as well, and 4-hour closing bearish. So there's a lot of confirmation of bearish candle closures here. Although we are coming from more of a bottom side of the range, testing this 4-hour support, we are failing to make higher highs here. We are actually closing at resistances. We do have a higher low here. If we do end up turning around and creating a 4-hour candle bullish, that can give us some upside potential. At the moment, we're seeing a lot of bearish pressure come in here, and simply leaving ranges can result in some form of sells. We have the 10:30 close coming here in about 6 minutes, which would also leave the 15-minute candle potentially closing below, which would trigger a setup one here, potentially taking us down a little bit further for some more sells, unless today we want to fake out. Faking out at this time is not necessarily always the case. around London Open, we could see this fake outs here happen. As you guys probably know, I did take 2 days off to do some market research into what is exactly happening. I'll give you guys a small summary on stream. Yesterday, we had a webinar with the guys in the group where we went heavily into depth about this stuff, and it was super interesting research. But I will give you guys a small breakdown because you guys watch stream, and I'll give you a small update. So while we wait for this close in 5 minutes, let's have a look at DAX here. On the other hand, DAX, I am trading a little bit later at London Open. I don't like to trade DAX before London Open with the current market conditions. Weekly time frame closing bullish, nice support being created. Daily bullish, 4 hour bullish as well, stuck at 4 hour resistance. So leaving this 4 hour resistance, not going to be bad. See if we want to continue some upside, basically the opposite of gold. Put in this 1 hour here. Leave that like that. 15 we can put in as well. So we could trade back towards these highs. We'll come back to it around the open. Now, as you guys may have noticed, I'll put a little bit announcement. Stream. Stream will start now 10:15 a.m. Dubai time. So we adjusted stream by 30 minutes here. This is going to allow me to stream a little bit later into London Open, so I can look at indices after London Open and see if we can get more opportunities doing that. So starting a little bit later, there will be days where 10 a.m. a setup comes, but it's not too often these days. That's why right now learning my strategy is important. So even if we're not on stream, you guys know what you're doing. Doesn't mean it's not valid to take a trade before. Totally valid to take a trade before, but I want to capture a little bit of London Open as well and not make it a 3-hour stream. That's pretty much it for DAX. It's not too complicated. Sells, I'm not too sure just yet. Yes, we're coming from the 4-hour. I can understand that, but we'll see. Let's have a look at NASDAQ here. NASDAQ, I don't really need to trade before the after the open, only DAX. Massive close here, gap up as well. 4-hour time frames trending here. Remember, we're at all-time highs here. This is absolutely just flying. Some sort of resistance there. Put like this. Mark the 15 as well. So pretty much bullish here. Let's see if we can create supports and continue up, kind of like what DAX is doing. So we'll keep an eye on that. Gold trying now to retest the same zone. Hasn't tapped it just yet. We need to get below this 15-minute support to try and see if price wants to break out today. Now, breaking out on bank holiday, not always guaranteed. I'm not seeing any signs of low volume at the moment. 1 minute seems to be trending okay. 5-minute time frame seems to be trending okay. Just a matter of, can we break out here in the next 2 minutes? We are struggling at the moment. We need something closing below that 15. That's a zone we've been rejecting since the morning. So let's see how it is. Now, the nice thing is we haven't had a major push since Asian session here. So hopefully we will start to get it. Gold has really low volume. You can see it on futures. Yeah, 1 minute will look like that sometimes. The main thing here is going to be, do we get out the range? If we get out the range, I feel like we could get some volume here. All morning, we've just been trending down, lower high, lower high. As long as we respect this zone, I feel like price will go down today. If we don't get below here, which is not looking like it wants to do it on this candle, then I feel, yeah, we will just get stuck in range. And that's how you treat bank holiday. You need to look at price and then treat it the same like that. So yeah, let's see how this next candle closes here. This one I doubt. I mean, anything can happen in a minute, but I'm really doubting it closes below. I'm not taking a 5-minute candle close below on bank holiday, even though we have a 1 hour confirmation here, right? We have 1 hour confirmation, but 5 minutes on a bank holiday, maybe now. Maybe now not the best idea. Is the T virus gone now? Man, yes, I'm getting over it. Still a little bit of sniffles, but that's about it, to be honest. All right, so we closed above here as expected. Even closed above this support, which is important as well, to close above this support. So let's see what ends up happening. DAX we're going to come back to in a little bit. DAX without the London banks being open can be difficult here, so we're just going to watch it. NASDAQ, I'm not too bothered. So we can watch NASDAQ. So yeah, that's the analysis for today. Let's see what ends up setting up here. We'll wait for a few more people to come in, and then I'm gonna run and tell you what I've been experimenting with, some information on London, some key stuff, and then, you know, so I don't have to repeat myself. GeoGuessr? Not yet, not yet. We could play a round of GeoGuessr, I guess. But we need chat to be active. Last time we played GeoGuessr, I'm the only one guessing. No one's helping me. Hello, wondering if you trade NY, or if when you trade NY, do you wait for the 4-hour candle to close 30 minutes after for bias, or do you trade the open, or can you point me to a video of yours trading NY open? My NY open videos I have in the group, but yeah, I just, whatever candle, I don't wait for the 4-hour candle to close, and then when it closes, I can just check the analysis from that point there. You know, so from that point there, I can just check the analysis. But no, I won't wait for it. 30 minutes in NYSE is a lot of trading time. There's a lot of setups that can be found in 30 minutes in NYSE. Not back to back, but you know, there can be a setup. So now we're respecting this 4-hour support, which is an old one that I don't really need here. Interesting, we're still respecting it till today, but we didn't respect it these times, so I don't really consider it. I'm probably going to remove it as it's no longer relevant, but it just shows us a previous range. You can just leave it as 1-hour support. Can you check UJ? Yeah, we can analyze UJ, see what's happening in UJ. Start off from weekly. Weekly dumped here. We opened on this big gap down. Not sure if this is a gap down or just a dump here. No, it's not a gap down because we have this. So daily time frame heavy move up. We created a support here, very nice support, triple wick low at the moment. 4-hour time frame trying to change structure, no change of structure yet. Lots of liquidity being grabbed here. Looks like we're gonna stay in the range for a little bit more. Goal would be to buy from the bottom of the range. Yeah, being a buyer from the bottom of the range is gonna be the idea. This seems to be some sort of intervention type movement here. This is very interesting movement, a little bit manipulated at the moment. Very scary when you see this type of movement of where you come to a high and then big liquidation event, come to a high, big liquidation event. So being a buyer at the low is going to be better. I wouldn't be selling this asset till you get a higher time frame 4-hour candle closing like this. Buying the breakout here, I wouldn't do. I'd wait for the breakout, pull back, show me that price is not going to do another liquidation event, and then I would take the continuation either from here, or if there's no entry here, I'd take it back above here. So I basically want structure above this range, right? And you can see here, tried to make structure, we broke out, tried to make structure, liquidation event. So you don't want, you know, you don't want to be caught of that liquidation event, because this is nasty, bro. This is very nasty. Look at that, man. What is this? Actually, you don't want to be trading GBP JPY at the moment. Wow. 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 This happening in GJ? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh. I need to actually see what happened. Does anyone know what happened? I haven't been looking at JPY analysis for a while. I kind of just left this too much to manage, looking at gold fundamentals, DAX fundamentals. All right, so we 15-minute time frame revisited these lows here. 5-minute time frame tried to close below, failed to close below. I wonder if we're going to get a breakout without a close. They're possible as well, but they're just not following my rules, of course, breakouts without close. Bank of Japan statements to strengthen the JPY. Yeah, classic. But they always do these statements and then never follow through. Obviously, we have the carry trade ending, which is a big one. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this ends up forming. I guess it's interventions. No, interventions are way worse. If you were trading with us at the time of interventions, you're an OG. No, that's not Japan Bank intervention. Trust me. You want to see what intervention looks like? Sheesh. You wait and see. You know, intervention is no joke, man. You wake up and you cry yourself to sleep.
Bro, do you remember we saw it in live?
Live stream, bro. Crazy, bro. I think, yeah, we just closed the trade or something, right?
Yeah, like 5 minutes before.
It was crazy, man.
I took a huge loss there.
Bro.
Minus 3%.
I remember that day. I remember. It was nuts. That's the real intervention. Just straight 1 minute dumping 600 pips.
No caring about my stop loss for sure.
Bro, crazy. You press sell, it doesn't trigger. You have stop loss, doesn't trigger. I'm taking on 1 hour for my combine. Let it mess around if it needs to go in gold. Yeah, if you look at it at an intraday position, you know, could be okay as an intraday position here. Might want to pull back though and retest all the way up here. It's totally possible for that to happen. Doesn't mean you're wrong. So we have 1 minute change of structure as well here. We're starting to break lower. Again, 5, I need minimum of 5 closing below for myself. And even with a 5, this is highly aggressive. I really wanted the 15. 15 will give me a lot of confirmation. Something I'll be comfortable with taking on the 15. So hopefully 5 can come back in the range. Retest here, then close below would be nice. But I understand. Now it is an option to take it on the 5. Depends how you guys want to play it. We had the same sells. I was not streaming on, what day was it? Friday, right? So Friday, we took these same sells from up here. These sells. So these were very nice sells. These played out well. I posted that in the Telegram. It's a very similar scenario, just a little bit lower. Difference is we had the 15-minute close here.
I believe
Delirious is playing.
The 30 and a 1 hour close with it too. I think that was the difference. I mean, like,
that was also very strong, yeah, to have all of those. It helps a lot. Now, I mean, like I said, guys, in an aggressive scenario, 5 minute would be an option. Just today on bank holiday, I have a rule where I want to take max confirmation trades. But that's just me. You know me, I'm a bit more risk adverse in terms of being more aggressive. Unless I have the time to be aggressive. If you watch me trade NYSE, you'll see a different version of me. Where I am a lot more aggressive. A lot more, taking a lot more options. You know, maybe 2-3 trades in a session, no problem. So NYSE I trade a lot different because the market allows me to do that. We have volume for that. So yeah, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes here myself. But if you are happy with a 5-minute time frame, then you know that's the risks, is that the next 5-minute closes back in the range. Otherwise it's gonna close below here in 23 seconds, I believe. I'd be surprised if it didn't. But hey, this 1 minute could come back, huh? Yeah, but it should close below. Alright, what makes a resistance / support invalid? The amount of times it crosses through it. The more it's crossed through, the more invalid it becomes, because nothing is reacting at it. Hopefully we can survive for 4 minutes. Maybe I'll enter if it retests that 15. You mean on the 5? Yeah, that's also not bad. But that would be nice if we have the 15 close as well, because what would be scary, and this is where you have to think about candles backwards. Let's say we go to retest the 15 right now, 3 minutes before this candle closed, but that retest ends up being a pullback, and that leads this 15-minute candle to close back inside the range. Next one respects the range, you get a reversal, you're stopped out. Whereas you thought you were entering on a retest, but instead you entered on the pullback that just led the 15 to close back in the range, and this whole thing didn't make sense to begin with. I mean, afterwards it won't make sense to trade. So what would be nice is to have the 15-minute close, so you have the confirmation, and then we can look to see if we can get in on a retest. You know, otherwise this can very much snap back in the range. Now I'm nervous. I'm in 5-minute position, was still not triggered, which is interesting as well. I wonder if it will trigger last 2 minutes and just dump. Sometimes that happens, you know. See how 1 minute looks. Yeah, I mean, if this 1 minute can hold below here, there's a high chance that it could break the low and just dump, which will not give me an entry, unfortunately. Again, bank holiday today. I have one more layer that I do not go aggressive on a UK bank holiday in a UK session. New York, nothing has changed for me. In New York, I traded the same. But for London, I do have a reason to be a bit more on that side. Now, question is here, if obviously this closes around somewhere here in like 2 minutes, still 100 pip stop loss. Not really playing with 100 pip stop loss. That's a big dump that has to come to get a 1-to-1. I know it's asking for a lot, but I'd really like the next candle to come, wick up here, make a massive top wick, and then I can sell and just run stop loss back in the range. Like somewhere here, stop loss. Again, still didn't break lows, huh? Very interesting. So yeah, the only issue here, guys, is going to be stop loss, right? We kind of have to run a stop loss around at least above this 5-minute structure here, which is around 90 pips. So we need a 90 pip move. Or if we get a good top wick now, we could actually play, a wick fill. So let's see. So let's see this top wick here. We are making a top wick, so it is valid break of low, but this stop loss, I'm not too happy with this stop loss. You could just take it straight on the 15, but it's a massive stop loss. We need a big move for just a 1-to-1. 1-to-1 we're looking at here. So that's like a whole session type trade. So I know I'm being like, I know I'm being a little bit particular here, but I mean, I could just try to allow it to move 100 pips. But bank holiday 100 pips on a Monday. Man. Let's get a retest, please. Then I can run small stop loss. Dow might have better entry. I don't trade Dow in London. If you do, then yeah, check it out. Just notice it's low volume for me, Dow in London, whereas Nasdaq is still good in London. We also have London Open in 13 minutes. London Open has a 54% chance of reversing today. 54% chance of reversing, right? So we have to be careful with London Open with a 54% chance of reversing. So that means what? That means we need to do volume analysis. That means with 54% chance of reversing in London Open, the next 13 minutes needs to dump 100 pips. Without a 5-minute pullback, that becomes unlikely. So if we were to look at analytics probabilities of this is highly likely to be a trade that I end up in drawdown, or a trade that I am stuck in with the open with a 54%. So I'm flipping a coin I'm flipping a coin at the open, or this is a trade that's just going to end up break even, not a profitable trade. And this is the difference that I've been researching in London, right? If London is closed today, how can it open? Yeah, that's also very true as well. But at that time, we have a reversal 54% of the time. Silver is making sense. Let's have a look at silver. Closed in the range here. Yeah, silver does look quite nice. Yeah, a little bit better than gold silver does look here. How big is the stop loss? Let's see, 5-minute structure. Oh, that's a bit rough, that one. That's a bit rough. But it's making a good top wick. Still, 1-to-1 is a pretty big candle. So as I was saying, remember I took a couple of days off. I was doing some analytics and analyzing on London session. London session has turned into a bigger session, meaning that you can take setups before the session and a little bit after the session. We trade for like an hour and a half on live stream. That doesn't necessarily mean in our window that there's going to be a trade. So it's a very important time now, guys, to be doing what? To be focusing on understanding the strategy so that you can trade throughout London session. 2 hours before London Open, 3 hours before London Open is a good time to trade. There are trades that come there. I'm not going to be live for 6 hours, not possible. but you could trade about 5 hours of London session where trades are possible to be taken. So this is what I found in the research. The other thing I found in the research is that London Open is liking to reverse at the moment. So we like to reverse at London Open, and you need to take these analytics of candle volume size and all of this stuff. So I prepared a document that I presented to the guys yesterday in the group. We spent about an hour discussing about these. The document looked like this, where I put all statistics of 2,355 candles from current market data looking at time. I want to show you something, guys. If we were to look at volume analysis of London session, we're looking average range 27, 28, 22, 23. Compared to NY session, guys, 38, 39, 42. So NY session is a session that's pumping. That's why I'm putting more emphasis on teaching the guys how to trade NY session, and that's why we're having a lot more success in NY session. So yeah, exactly. London became like the new Asian session, right? Whereas Asian is pushing a little bit more. So you can use this to your advantage and look to take intraday. You can look to have a bigger trading window during London session. There's a lot of benefits that come with it. The difference is that you're not getting that window like we get in NY session. Whereas in NY session, we're getting this window where I'm trading NASDAQ, and within an hour, we are getting setups. I remember like on Friday or one of the days, we were done in 8 minutes. Like literally showed up to the charts, 8 minutes later, took a trade and we were done. You know? I think AI is good, that type of stuff. Great for making it into tables and stuff like this. These tables is all done by AI. Helps a lot. But the data and the inputs you have to feed, it's not going to make it up for you. You can't ask AI to go find 2,355 candles. That data I pulled from Pip Labs. You know? Sheesh already reversed. We predicted this just now, guys. I don't know how much more I can tell you guys. We did the analysis. We said with 13 minutes to London Open, with a 54% chance of reversal at London Open, there's a high chance this will either end up a break-even trade or need a pullback and we end up in drawdown. Just from the candle size analysis, we know how much volume we have. Just by saying, hey, in order to get a 1-to-1, we need a 100 pip move. In 13 minutes, with London analysis, that's not likely. Let me stay out of this. And that's what's been happening in the past, is you would take these trades, potentially lose these trades and not understand why. And it's so simple when you understand these type of concepts here. That doesn't mean the idea is messed up here. That means that we can actually potentially get a nice pullback to continue. Let's see. 1 hour closes in 7 minutes. 30 minutes will close in 7 minutes. We're going to get a lot of information. This could just be the pullback we wanted. In 7 minutes, we could end up down here. We have the pullback. Now, from 100 pip stop loss, our stop loss is now around 80, a little bit less, 78, something like that. Much better stop loss. Plus, we have the liquidity to continue down. Right? That is the difference. So remember, London stream is going to be delayed until 10:15 now. That's what time we're going to start London stream, so that we can trade more of London Open and start to use some of the open strategy on DAX, as well as 30 minutes after the open. There's some nice trades. I want to be there 30 minutes after the open. Let's have a look at NASDAQ here. We are bouncing on NASDAQ as well. Respected this support. 5-minute time frame is saying what? Ooh, lower highs on 5-minute. We have this 4-hour, which is obviously a little bit more interesting way the 4 hours formed. Previous 1 hour range. Just want to check how this looks on futures. We can maybe get some more information of the 4 hour on futures. A little bit lower on futures. That 4 hour. See the 1 hour range. So I'm going to mark the 1 hour range. Yeah, and we're closing above the 1 hour range. The only thing I fear is that 5-minute structure. So I don't mind longing from here 6 minutes. We'd have a 1 hour close, which would be problematic because we close bearish. So we'd be fighting a bearish 1 hour close. So if that 1 hour close is back in the range, it's game over. We'd be fighting a 30-minute bearish close. We'd be trusting a 15 without a change of structure on a 5. Yeah, there's not too much confirmation here. We have to be sure that we are bullish today. You know? So that's it. If there is a pullback, if a retest of the zone around 45.84 bullish move could follow the next bearish pullback, yes. But also we have statistics here about reversals in London. I ran through all of this with the guys yesterday. This is very, very important to have these statistics of what is exactly happening on gold here as we work between this window of when I stream. Because remember, London session has become a wide span session. You can trade London session not in a focus period, you can trade London session in a bigger period. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the next 5 minutes pan out. Right, we could even get a nice little setup 3. 1 hour could close nice. 30 minutes could close below. And then we might have enough continuation to have the other. Remember, it's going to be a 46% chance that we get continuation only. So we are already at a lower percent chance that we get continuation, 46%. Most of the time it reverses. So we need the confirmation that we're going to get continuation. Plus, London banks are closed. If London banks are closed, we might have a little bit of disruption of those statistics. So in order to have a 46% probability of continuation here, we need to have more confirmation in a London session scenario. It's quite nice the way the 5 is forming here. So I can be very sure that if price breaks this structure on the 5, we're going to go up. So selling below here could be that chance of continuation. And if we notice any signs of reversal, then it's probably going to reverse from here. But we don't have bias to support it. Bias is bearish today. So I want to stay on the selling side. And breaking through the structure will be quite nice, to be honest. I would also consider a wick fill depending on how we close and how big of a top wick. If we make a top wick here testing this resistance, then break this low, I can sell from here to here and then see what happens here. If we break here, I'm in a good position already. I have smaller SL, I have a bigger targetability. Plus, if things go wrong, I have more time to get out. So it's a bit of a smarter idea. Of course, you don't have confirmation of break of low, which is a nice confirmation to break the lows. But this would be depending on the top wick, right? So we can balance it, right? We can balance it by saying, hey, I don't have break of low, but whoa, I have a good top wick. But depends. Last 2 minutes could dump down here, then we have to go break of low anyways. So some people might ask me, hey, Harry, why don't you sell here then? right? That's a valid question. Why don't I sell here? Again, remember the probability of London potentially reversing. Look at what's happening now. 15 snapping back inside the range, 30-minute about to close above. Only 1 minute before the candle close here. So if you get stuck in just a 5-minute position, you're in a sticky position then, right? Because you have to hold through the open now, and you're begging that in 45 seconds this 5-minute can dump a little bit more. So we also have DAX about to open here. Let's see the volume we have on DAX on the open. There could be some beautiful buys towards the upside. I want to keep an eye on this on DAX. Looks pretty good, to be honest. Let's quickly look at gold is snapping back in the range. So yeah, I'm going to put a bit of focus on DAX here. If we can get a good bottom wick. So I'm going to be on standby on DAX for potential buys, depending on the bottom wick we have here on DAX. Nice bottom wick here. Breaks the lows. Look, London Bank is closed, but some great volume today, huh, guys? So we just manipulated the lows here. Now sells, we have multiple rejections to upside. Sells could play out today. They are totally possible. They are totally possible to play out the sells. But we're gonna need some more confirmation. Maybe around in 30 minutes we could have some confirmations of that close. I'm not seeing anything just yet at the moment. It's a bit deep, this candle here. What about 1 hour entry on DAX? I'm not sure what entry you would be looking at though. Need a little bit more context. I don't see a 1 hour entry on DAX. So Nasdaq as well, 1 hour candle close back inside the range, which is the problem. Although 15-minute is bullish. Let's check on futures if we close back inside the range. Did we close back in the 1 hour range on futures? No, 1 hour range on futures is respected. 5-minute, nice retest on 5-minute. Yeah, Nasdaq could be a long as well, break of high. That is not the most craziest idea. Kind of supports DAX as well if it was to flip. So I could as well try Nasdaq longs. I just really prefer a 5-minute change of structure, something we have not had. And how bullish am I on Nasdaq today? Am I sure this is going to continue up? Not just yet. We've had so much bullish price action. You are very picky today, but it's all true, right? Remember, we're selling a 1 hour bearish candle, 1 hour 30-minute bearish candle, 5-minute 15 only 15-minute bullish candle only confirmation, no 5-minute change of structure. We actually have lower highs and lower lows on the 5-minute. So why is this the low of the day? Why not here is the low of the day? Right? Why doesn't this just retest a little higher and then fail? Those are all the questions we have. Tested the 4 hour, didn't like it. The If you re-break this high, it could be okay. How big is stop loss? 23. 23. DAX as well, trying to flip here. Look at this candle on DAX. Very interesting candle on DAX. We have 5-minute candle close on NASDAQ. So if we can get a good 5-minute candle close, this could be okay. Then I'll be able to long above these highs. Let's see how this 5-minute candle close here in about 19 seconds. That 4 hour doesn't exist on futures? Yeah, it doesn't, but we're reacting at it. Okay, so 5-minute candle close bearish. It's not such a bad thing, it's just creating structure on 1 minute. DAX did the same thing. Now, the number one thing with DAX is, where is stop loss placement for DAX? That's the only thing I struggle with right now on DAX, is where do I put stop loss? I can run 47 point stop loss. Yes, that is possible. 47 point stop loss. I really prefer a smaller stop loss. Let's see if we can catch NASDAQ break of high. Ah, so we've already broke the high. That's unlucky. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at DAX, got a bit distracted. Too much going on. There's no entry really. Yeah, you go break of high. Just trust the re-break of the 15-minute high. And that's it. 5-minute close bearish, but then you just trust the upside, you know? You have to take that risk. That's about it. You only take that risk. Are there any stocks you're looking to buy, or are you not an investor? Bro, I'm a boring investor, bro. I just invest in NASDAQ. And then my main investing is done through trading. That's way better. Look at gold, right? London reverse. We have two zones we need to watch on DAX. There's this potential rejection zone. There's one a little bit lower here. Like these. If we close above here, we could buy break of high. See if volume can push through. If not, we get out break even. That's option one. Because now we're getting a 5-minute close on DAX that we didn't have on NQ. Beautiful liquidity grab to lows. Nice 1-minute structure forming. Yeah, let's keep an eye on DAX. I'm gonna keep an eye on DAX here. Outside trading, are you religious? Do you go to a place on worship on Sundays? You mean to church on Sundays? No, I don't participate in Sunday Mass. And I have my reasons, but I don't want to discuss it on a live stream because I don't discuss religion and politics. Not that I'm against it, but the people who show up there, I find... Yeah, I'm not gonna really talk about it. It's more about the environment that I don't like, not a connection with God. That's the difference. Membership open tomorrow. So be ready tomorrow. You'll hear the announcement tomorrow. I have also a gift for you. So wait for tomorrow, guys. There's gonna be something exciting. So tomorrow. Make sure to show up on stream because it will only be available for guys who know me. So let's see, 17 minutes for this. 17 seconds for this candle to close. I really like how we're reacting at this resistance here. If we break through, we could have a bit of a pop. But depends if this 5-minute candle closes weak or at least like this. Yeah, there we go. No bottom wick. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for a bottom wick and then possibly break off high. If it breaks the high without a bottom wick, sad days. Okay, nice. Now we're making a bottom wick here. Good bottom wick. We should not need to break this highs unless we're going to test this resistance. So I'll be looking for a long if we break these highs now. After that bottom wick, I'm convinced. Stop loss below the 5 here. Target back up to here. If we reject this resistance here at 24.32, I'll be exiting my positions. As pushing, DAX should follow. Yeah, indices are popping up a little bit here. So if we can get some volume. What's very important is the structure we're creating. We made this deep bottom wick first. I'd be surprised, it would be a little bit nasty if it breaks the high and then reverses again. So this is important that it's reversing now, right? Put the position here, otherwise people will think I've already entered. Also, if this 5-minute candle closes weak bearish, I like it still. Nasdaq was a shot here. Nasdaq was a shot, right? So the Nasdaq trade played out. So that is something definitely that I missed. I think going re-break of the high was easy. It gave a little bit of a curve ball by not closing the 5 bullish. I wish we had the 5 bullish. I would have just full sent it easily. But hey, bank holiday today, first session of the week. But nice to see after open, good positions coming. This is why we're starting the stream later. But yeah, this was an easy position. Not easy, but it was an option. Because if this 5 closed bullish, it was an easy position. But this was an option. Tap the 1-to-1. Yeah, it did give you your 1-to-1. Yeah, like this. Yeah, perfect. Target the previous place. So that's a nice one. Let's go back to DAX. We have DAX as well. We're seeing indices move up here. 1 minute. I need to see a stronger candle on the 15. It's a very good liquidity grab. But if this 15 closes bearish, I'll have to cancel my order. I actually prefer the 5 to close weak bullish, weak bearish here. But we still have a minute. If it doesn't close weak bearish in a minute, then I'll just cancel my order. If it closes strong bearish. Do leave a gap for spread? Yeah, depends on your spread. If you have crazy spread, then it's not worth it. That's an interesting close. It's still above, but let's see how the 15 looks. Yeah, I'm not convinced at this 15, guys, so I'm gonna delete it. It's not a convincing 15. I think we have to wait for another 5 close above, which is fine. I swear if this breaks the high and flies, I will really cry. But it's just not convincing me, this 15. And I can't really take it if it's looking like that. I mean, what does this tell me? It gives me no information. So I want to see the 5 close above here. I swear if it breaks the high and flies, it's unfortunate. It's still an option to just impulsively take it, but I'm not going to trade impulsively bank holiday, but I will take if a 5 closes above. Then we can... How's gold doing? Yeah, reverse London Open, typical. I'm a little tempted to still take a break of high, but I have to be disciplined. Not go so aggressive, just getting back into DAX. I have so many days to trade it. Looks like gold is going bullish, but needs some closures. Yeah, more confirmation would help, but yeah, it is flipping a little bit. Nasdaq beautiful. Surprised DAX is not following as much and triggered us earlier. But it supports DAX. We'll see. 3 1-minute candle closes. It's also possible I enter half break of high and then the second half once we close. That's also possible things you can do. That's also not too bad. Let's see, 2 minutes here. INQ wanted to be, man, wanted to be. I was looking for DAX for the same move, and then when I switched back, it already broke the high. I wanted 5-minute candle close above, which it was just about to flip last minute, but then I can take it still re-break of high. Still valid. Hey buddy, can you please explain how to work your strategy in sideways market? Buy from bottom of range, sell from top. Yeah, I feared this would be the case here, where we pop through the range here, like that. Doesn't mean we can't get wick fills, but that's where that half entry can be pretty useful. But again, then you only make half TP, but I guess it's better than nothing. It is more aggressive, but then it's only half risk, so it doesn't matter too much taking the half risk when it is more aggressive. But problem is adding. It's hard to add on these because adding up here is a little bit too high for the same stop loss. But now your stop loss actually here. Be something like that. Potential to add on retest entry. Yeah, let's see how it 1 minute close bearish. Let's see if we can react off the previous range or something. Be on standby. Yeah. So yeah, it's not only the half entry. Damn. That's a nice push. I did take that half entry there, but I'm gonna close out now at around a 1-to-1. Right there. So only made 0.5%, but I wanted to give it a shot. A little bit more risky, so I didn't call it fully. I did talk about it, but I don't want you guys to be messed up, you know. And plus, I'm getting used to DAX. But yeah, did take the half entry, but it's only 0.5%. I didn't want to call it, say, okay, everyone jump in, and then, you know, I did fear that this is what happens, and I have been experimenting with that, but I preferred we had the closure for a safer entry. I'm not going to, you know, I know that people copy, so I don't want to put people in a risky position. I don't mind taking a loss. But again, the problem is I only make half there. It's not much. It's not much. But the idea played out well here. So I'm very happy to see that. Very happy to see that my DAX idea is working. You can see how showing up a little bit later. So make sure you guys show up to stream. And or listen to the analysis. And you can take the trade if you're happy to go in half as well, right? It's not only about, I don't want you guys to be signal bots, obviously, you know. But yeah, nice little 1-to-1 there. Not bad, not bad. I was hoping the 1 minute came back, guys. Then I would have entered and with you guys as well. And I would have put full risk. But look, we opened no bottom wick, volume came. If it just came here, retest, and I started to see it reject, I enter again. But wow, what a beautiful push here, huh? Check that out. DAX is back. DAX is back. Maybe DAX is not back, but I'm back to analyzing it in a proper way now. Yeah, that makes sense. Sweet. And stupid 5 close. Yeah, it just makes it a little bit of a thought, especially when it looks like it's about to close up. Why does DAX look different on my top step trade charts? You don't have DAX on top step, my friend. You have to trade NQ. So then your trade today was the NQ longs that we had. So if you're on futures, then take the NQ longs. It was hard because last minute, 5 minute didn't close above. So you just have to go, but you just have to trust the 15 in this case. So maybe it's okay to run. But there were good options today, guys. For bank holiday, amazing options. Amazing options for bank holiday. That's why we have both. But you guys see, that's my point why we're streaming a little bit later. So I'm gonna cut stream here, guys. Appreciate you guys showing up to first trading day of the month here on stream. Make sure to show up tomorrow. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's stream. Leave a like before you leave. Much love, take care, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Much love and peace. Cheers, guys. Cheers. See you.